All right, folks, thank you for joining me today. It's Monday, November the 8th, and I am headed to public ground. Me and Jared scouted out this morning, and I'm going to do kind of an observation sit, but if something does come by, I am going to see about taking it. But I won't be very picky about what we do. Of course, I'm not going to shoot a yearling or anything like that, but just to kind of make a point here of what I was talking to you about in that last video, Jared, and where Caleb killed his first deer, about, when I say a baby, I'm not talking about, it could be a yearling or something like that, but it's November the 8th, and I'm on my way to the warehouse. I'm stopping by. I got to get my something out of my kayak, my thermocell, because down here in South Louisiana, we're still dealing with mosquitoes. But with that said, I just saw, I'm running a little late, but it's about 10 minutes to 2 in the afternoon on November the 8th, and I just saw a spotted fawn cross the road in front of me. So we're having babies still drop the ground here in Louisiana, which means that our herd is skewed, and that buck, that little small buck that Caleb killed, that may be his only first set of horns. I mean, he may not have dropped last year. If he was born in November or October, November, he was a year old, but those little horns, he wasn't a button buck. So my point was, he wasn't a fawn, he wasn't born this year. He was born probably October of last year, and which makes him a year old, not a year and a half. A lot of times up in the north where they've got a great herd, control, they have fawns drop in April or whatever, and by October they're 6 months old, which means that's where they get that year and a half deal. But here in Louisiana, we're kind of skewed a little bit with our herd, and we're having does bred in March and April, which I know is crazy. But we have chasing going on and things like that. But anyway, I had to stop and get my thermocell. I'm going to grab a few other things, and then I'm going to go get in the woods, and let's go hunting. And all that ready. Got my crossbow. First hunt with a crossbow, so we fixing to see what goes on with that. But anyway, got my pack, got my sticks, and fixing to head in the woods. I'll check back with you when I'm in the tree. All right, folks, I'm set up. Here's my setup for the day. Kind of up in here. It's about 3:45, so we probably got an hour and a half or so of hunting to do. First crossbow hunt, got my bear intense up here, thanks Ronnie. But got deer feeding under these trees on the edge of this field, so we're gonna see what we're gonna get done. Check back with you in a minute. deal with. He's walking right through there. That's one reason why I don't get too caught up when I get an opportunity at a deer on public land here in Louisiana. We don't have laws that protect smaller bucks or anything like that, and I'll do the same thing as anybody else, but I don't pass a whole bunch out here on public land, not here in Louisiana, because you just don't know. You just don't know. It's not like private or anything like that. You just don't know when somebody's going to come walking through. But we got a little while, we'll see.
This portion of Louisiana Hook and Shoot is brought to you by American Hunter, your locally owned, Louisiana proud, full-service gun and archery shop. If guns, knives, and archery equipment are your obsession, then this is the pro shop for you. American Hunter, Ronald Reagan Highway, Covington, Louisiana.
All right, folks, so the wind is blowing off the field. It's not moving very much, but it's kind of blowing straight in my face from off the field. The deer are coming from back here and over here, and what this wind is doing is just blowing my scent straight into the field over here. Now if they come in behind me, it might be a little sketchy, so but I'll let y'all know. Leaving, he came in and got his stand out of the wood. Hey, maybe I've got about an hour and a half left, so maybe he'll be on out of here. So folks, I'm having to make do. I left my bracket from mounting my camera on my tree arm at the house, so I got my GoPro mounted to it. If I get a shot, it'll be 20 yards anyway, so you'll be able to get it on that. Got dogs barking. All right, everybody. Well, I made it back to the house. As you can tell, I didn't get anything. A lot of things. I think number one, me being a little late getting there, not being able to. It's getting dark. At last shooting light is like 5:30 or something like that. So, me being a little bit late, and I kind of had to set up. I think I set up on the field edge, which. I've seen some deer hitting the fields early recently, which kind of lended itself to me choosing to sit on a field edge. But most of the time, it's not a good deal to sit on a field edge, because most of the time they're not going to get there unless it's just absolutely way secluded and it's way in the back or something like that. But most of the time, they're not going to get to those field edges until after dark or something like that. And I think that's what kind of got us today. But in hindsight, I wish I'd have pushed a little further, and there was a larger field in the back, but it had kind of a knoll, and with some trees in it. I could have got up in there and seen the whole field. Also seen a power line, so I might have been able to see some crossings because they were crossing the power line before they were getting to that field. So anyway, hey, hanging there with us is just the first sit with the crossbow and second sit overall on public land this year. So we're fixing to get cranked up, and we'll get in them. But hey, thanks for being with me. Brian with Louisiana Hook and Shoot. We're all Louisiana, all the time. See you later.